Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Doing so good. Go ahead, Maya.
Okay, so on the phone, we have Fahim Anwar, who's been in a ton of movies and TV shows. He was in the movie Neighbors with Zac Efron and Seth Rogen, and Whiskey Tango Foxtrot with Tina Fey.
Yeah.
And I just want to say that I'm so happy that I met you a couple weeks ago. I've been watching a lot of your stand-up, and you're hilarious.
Oh, that's nice. Thanks so much.
And if you're just tuning in upstairs, this is a special edition of the latest news to keep you in the groove with Maya. And she's got all sorts of questions. This guy's got all sorts of answers. I can't wait to hear them.
Yeah. So who or what inspired you to start doing stand-up?
Well, growing up, I always loved Saturday Night Live. Like, I watched that show all the time, and it was my favorite thing in the world. And then I asked myself, I go, how do people get on that show? Because I wanted to be on that show. And so I did some internet research, and I found out that people got on that show from improv, which is like a form of comedy. You know, like Tina Fey did improv, Amy Poehler did improv, Bill Murray, Kristen Wiig, and then there's people who did stand-up. And, you know, David Spade is a stand-up, Adam Sandler was a stand-up, who else? Eddie Murphy, Chris Rock was a stand-up. So I researched both stand-up and then also improv, and it just seemed like stand-up was better suited for me. And that's how I got in it.
That's awesome.
Cool. Yeah.
I like that you did so much of your homework.
Yeah, you got to. Sometimes you have a dream or you have a thing you want to do, and instead of feeling lost, it's nice to kind of do your homework, and then that way you're not wasting your time. The effort you're putting in goes towards something instead of just bouncing around.
It's a good idea.
Yeah. Who's your favorite comedian?
Favorite comedian? Probably, I mean, there's so many, but I mean, I like Bill Burr a lot. He's probably one of my favorites right now. Who else? I mean, I like Chris Rock. I love Chappelle, obviously. There's a lot. It's a good time.
Yeah, those are a bunch of funny guys for sure.
Yeah. So you're an actor, writer, and stand-up comedian. Are you equally passionate about all three of these things, or is there one that you like more than the other?
Probably stand-up I like more than all of them because you're doing everything. You think of the idea, you get to perform it, you get to edit it. It's just, you're there for every step of the way. As an actor, like the Tina Fey thing or the Neighbors with Zac Efron or whatever, like, it's fun to just jump in, but there's somebody else's words. And just as a creative person, I like acting and I like directing and I like writing when it's all my thing, you know? Like, I love acting in my own thing. It's still fun to act in somebody else's thing, but it's less fun.
You're like, I already have an idea of how this is supposed to be. Don't tell me how to do this. I got it.
Kind of. Like, when you have a strong comedic voice, you kind of scratch that itch more when you're just sort of seeing your idea to fruition. Like, you know exactly what to do. Where when you're acting in somebody else's thing, you're like, all right, I think this is what you want. And then they'll direct you and everything. But there are some actors who are just, that's all they want to do. They go, tell me what to do, tell me what to say, and like they just like doing that, and they're great at it.
Yeah. Do you have any upcoming projects?
Yeah, I have a sketch show on Comedy Central coming out in the fall. So Hassan Minhaj from The Daily Show, he's in the show too. Like, he's my buddy, and then Aristotle, the theorist, and Asif Ali, who's on Rex on TBS. We all did sketches way back in the day before anybody got famous, and then we all got busy, and it's nice that we get to come back together, and our sketch group gets to do a show on Comedy Central.
Now, do you think that's a show that would be okay for teens and young adults to watch?
Yeah, I think so. Well, whatever the rating says on the show, I guess just listen to that.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't want you to get mad at me. Just whatever the
There you
TV
go.
rating is.
You know, we're
that's what
talking
it
to
is.
all ages here at the Children's Hospital, so I just like to check.
Yeah, that's up to the parents, you know, guys?
Yeah, check with the parents.
So you've guest starred in so many shows, including Chuck, Those Who Can't, and Superior Donuts. 3 shows that I love. Do you have any fun stories from working on any of the sets?
Let's see. Chuck, yeah, like, Chuck was my first thing. I was actually I still had a day job while I was shooting that, so I took some time off work. And, yeah, I took like 8 days off of work, and I was actually just over the hill shooting it, because they shoot it in the valley. But there was a bedroom scene with Yvonne, who's like a very pretty lady. You know, I don't know if you know Yvonne. Her last name, it's so hard to say. But so she comes into the room and she has onions draped around her earrings. She didn't want, she just would like smell bad, and I would think she had a terrible body odor. And she thought it was the funniest thing in the world.
That is pretty funny.
Yeah.
So you guest starred in an episode of one of my favorite Disney Channel shows, Liv and Maddie. And you guest starred in the season 1 episode, Howl Rooney, which Laura Morano also guest starred in. And so that's one of my favorite episodes, and you were so funny in it. And Dove Cameron is like one of my favorite actresses ever. And do you have any fun stories from working with the cast?
That was a fun one to work on. Like, it's so funny too, just because I'll do these acting things here and there, and you don't know who's going to watch it or how it's going to come back into your life. And I hang out mostly with adults here in LA, and no one watches that because, you know, we're like in our 30s.
Right, you're adults. But, you don't necessarily watch the Disney
adults.
channels.
We don't watch Liv and Maddie. Not to say it's not a great show.
Yeah. You're not their target audience.
Yeah.
They're not aiming to get you to watch it.
They're not trying to aim for me, yeah.
Right.
But it's funny because I'll have friends that I've lost touch with in high school, and they'll say, because they'll just have the TV on in the background, they'll be like, is that Fahim? You know, so just random to see somebody that they knew from high school on a show that their kids watch. So it's just sort of like, it snaps them out of, you know, they're vacuuming or whatever, and they just sort of see me as a director. But that was a fun show to do. Dove Cameron's a sweetheart. She's from Seattle too, so we talked about that because I grew up there. And it's kind of fun doing a Disney show too, because you can just act as crazy as you want and it works. You know, as an actor, it's kind of rare you have to be within a certain type of realism. But for Disney, I could just be this off-the-rails director.
Yeah.
So you appeared in an episode of Those Who Can't, and I've gotten to interview Ben Roy, Adam Caton Holland, and Andrew Orvidal. So I was wondering, was it hard not to crack up all the time on the set? Because everyone on that show is so funny.
Yeah, it was a funny set, and those guys are so great. I know all of them from doing stand-up, so it's kind of nice to just already know them when I'm on set. Because sometimes when you book a role, you don't know anybody, and you're like, do they like me? Do they not? Blah, blah. But this is sort of like shooting something with friends. But yeah, every take was pretty funny.
Yeah, they were super funny guys when they were...
And they're from Denver, too.
Yeah, they're from Denver, and they came here into the studio, which was super cool, and a real treat for us, for sure.
I think a lot of them still live there, too. Or like, they're there a lot, yeah.
Yeah. So, is there someone you've met that you've been completely starstruck by?
I'm trying to think. One time I was at a diner in L.A. and then Stevie Wonder was walking by.
No
Normally
way.
I don't get starstruck, but that was a big one for me. I didn't think that I'd be starstruck, but I was.
Yeah, that's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, because I'll see celebrities all the time, and it's not that big of a deal. You get used to it.
Right.
But that one, maybe because it's in a different thing, like music is just a different field than stand-up or acting. So maybe I held more weight in it because I'm not in that world.
That makes sense for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maya's looking at me like, who's Stevie Wonder? Do you know who Stevie Wonder
Yeah.
is? Oh,
Yeah.
just kidding. She knows who he is. She's
Yeah.
like, duh, Cody, I know who he is.
Yeah.
You know Shawn Mendes, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Now that one is 100%.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, for me, I've had like tons of moments where I've been like completely starstruck. Like right now.
No, come on. Who else have you seen come to the studio that you were kind of starstruck by?
In real life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, the band.
The band.
The band is called In Real Life.
Yeah.
Oh, that band?
Yeah. I think she was also a little starstruck by the band Why Don't We?
Yeah.
Maya has done quite an incredible job of getting her own like we get some interviews here in the studio for everybody, and then Maya has done quite an incredible job of getting her own interview set up for her own show, which we then of course broadcast to everybody here at Children's Hospital Colorado. So there's two sides of it. She gets her own, and then we have a bunch that come in as well. So she's got a bunch to think of.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I did get to talk to Dove Cameron once on the phone, and then when I got off the phone, my sister was like right next to me, and when I got off, like I literally just started crying. So
Yeah, that one
Yeah.
was pretty cool.
yeah. It was kind of funny. We were at school, and so we were like right outside our school. And so,
Everyone's like, what's wrong? And they go, no, I'm so happy.
yeah.
Don't you cry when you're happy? Because I always do, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what's your favorite show of all time?
All time.
Yeah.
Probably The Simpsons.
Oh,
Yeah. Because I grew up on, it's a tie between The Simpsons and SNL, but I think those two shows really made me who I am, like comedically. Such great writers came from those two places. It was a really good comedy teacher.
and The Simpsons were probably just relatively new when you were younger.
Oh yeah.
So
like,
it was
I
kind
had
of like,
the glory years of The Simpsons.
yeah.
Like, season 4 to like 8 is kind of the sweet spot, I think.
Cool.
Cool. Is there a show that you're currently binge watching?
What am I watching? I'm watching the new season of Glow. I think that's a great show. Game of Thrones, I'm all caught up on. It's kind of slow right now, though. I don't have a ton of shows. It's kind of there's a dip right now.
Well, if you need any suggestions, Maya is an expert on pretty much every show. So
Yeah, what's your show? What are you into right now?
Well, so there's
She's like, wait, how much time do you have?
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, well, I could recommend like every Disney Channel show, but I'll recommend one for you. There's a show called Bizarre on Disney Channel, and that's like my favorite show ever. And then on Netflix, there's Alexa and Katie. And there are so many shows.
There's
know.
so many.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I'll get back to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, Bizarrevark and Alexa and Katie.
Okay.
So, wait, what question was that? Oh, thank you. Who's your favorite actor or actress?
Let's see. This is tough. Who do I like? It's so hard when you say this question. I don't have it off the top of my head. Let's see. I mean, Tom Hanks, I like. Who doesn't?
Yeah, right?
I like Sandra Bullock,
Oh, yeah.
her. Well, I always like Tom Cruise movies. Those are great. I can't wait to see the new Mission Impossible. I heard it's really good.
Yeah, that should be a good one for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all I can think of.
What did you say?
Oh, I said that's all I can think of.
That's okay.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good list. A bunch of good Toms.
Yeah. Oh, there is there is this new show called Cloak and Dagger, which
I've actually heard about that.
Yeah, that's really good. And then also Black Lightning.
Black Lightning.
There you go. Now you got enough stuff.
Yeah, CW shows?
What?
Did you say, is that
Are
a
those on-
CW show?
Yeah, are those on CW?
Black Lightning is on the CW, and then Cloak and Dagger is on Freeform.
I see.
I told you she's an expert.
I know.
So in the WWE, the wrestlers always have a song that plays when they make their grand entrance. If you could pick any song to announce your arrival, what song would you want to be playing?
Ooh, maybe Beat It by Billie Jean. Or Michael Jackson. Oh, no, I'm just saying two Michael Jackson songs. It would be, not Beat It, I would do, maybe Billie Jean. But if it was wrestling, Beat It.
If it was just announcing him for wrestling, you'd go with Beat It. But otherwise, he's going to go with Billie Jean.
Forum, it'll be Billie Jean. But
That's good.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you have a motto or quotation that you live by?
let's see. Maybe a few, but and I don't really verbalize them. But maybe don't live for tomorrow is kind of one that I like, because when I had a day job and everything, or when it comes to doing something you don't want to do, just career-wise, or just doing things other people think they want you to do. It's sort of don't do things for them. It's do it for yourself. And when I was working at Boeing, I had a day job, but I knew I wanted to do comedy and all that stuff. So that kind of kept it interesting for me, and I always knew that it was a means to an end. But some people are just stuck in a day job that they don't like, and they're always looking at the clock and just waiting for the weekend. And that's kind of a crummy way to live in my mind, just living for the weekend or until it's quitting time.
That's good advice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be great if you had a job and you're doing something where you don't even know what time it is or what day it is.
Yeah, you should be loving what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a hard thing, but it's worth investing your time to try to get there instead of just sort of accepting things for what they are,
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry. Going back to other question I asked you about Liv and Maddie. Really fast. Have you seen Dove Cameron's movie Descendants?
And wait, who else was in that?
It was on Disney Channel, right? It's a Disney Channel movie.
Yeah.
And it's like a story of the kids of the princes and princesses
and villains.
And villains.
And
Yeah, I didn't see it.
That's okay. Don't worry, I haven't either.
Okay.
Okay, well, then you guys have to watch Descendants and Descendants 2 before Descendants 3 comes out next summer. So.
Okay, we got it.
Yeah, we'll be totally lost.
We got it on our homework list. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, my last question for you is, who do you consider to be a real-life superhero and why?
I would say Elon Musk for what he's doing and trying to change the way the world is and the way we think about things, the way cars work and the way we use fuel, and even trying to help the kids in the cave. Like, sure, they were able to do it without him, but just trying to single-handedly change society for the better.
That's a good answer, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for calling in and letting me interview you. I'm so glad we got this set up. I've been so excited to talk to you.
Well, thanks for having me.
Yeah.
We appreciate it so much. And,
Yeah.
of course, all the kids here at Children's Hospital Colorado
Thank
have
you.
been enjoying your time together. So thank you guys for sharing that with us. And thanks for joining us for this special edition of the latest news to keep you in the groove with Maya.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Take care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
See ya. Bye.